Now, in the ongoing corruption probe between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, the OSP says ill health cannot be used as proof to evade law enforcement. An alleged medical letter from the Mayo Clinic in the United States, which has been widely circulated in the media, says Mr. Ofori-Atta is set for prostate cancer surgery on June 13. However, the OSP insists it is yet to be informed of this condition. We are joined by the Director of Strategy, Research and Communication at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Samuel Apiadako, to get more on this particular matter. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for your time.
Good afternoon.
Has the office been officially notified by the Mayo Clinic of this diagnosis of prostate cancer on the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta?
No such letter has come from Mayo Clinic directed to the Special Prosecutor, Office of the Special Prosecutor. I think that we've also come across the same letter that is in circulation. But first of all, let me say that if you want to send a letter to a state agency from a medical office, at least it should be addressed to that medical office. When you see a letter said to whom it may concern, it means everybody can have a look at it. But if you properly want to get an excuse from a law enforcement agency, I believe that the right thing to do is to get a letter that is specifically addressed to that office, detailing exactly what it is. And then that office can even be able to send correspondence back to the office. Imagine, I'm just giving an example, I'm not saying that's the reality. Imagine you write back to them and they say, we don't know you, we don't know anything about it. Our client did not inform us that he's under investigation and he needed a letter to excuse himself from coming. I'm just using that as an example.
Right.
But what we are trying to tell you is that the letter that is even in circulation is not necessarily an issue, because in that letter, if you yourself, you take a look at it, there is nothing in that letter that says that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is incapacitated. It only says that Mr. Ofori-Atta has been diagnosed of a particular ailment and is scheduled for surgery on the 13th. Remember, we got a similar letter in February. And this is where you have to let Ghanaians understand. Nobody is after anybody. We are being fair and proportionate. We got a similar letter in February when we declared him wanted based on an arrest warrant. And we were about to proceed to Interpol. He did appeal to our office that he was going to, this time around, give us a definitive date and what exactly he's going through. And he brought a roadmap. This is as far back as in February. The roadmap he brought was that he was scheduled for surgery on the 21st and the 22nd of March. And he will require 1 month to recuperate. I'm not a mathematician. You guys are very good at it. Let's say he took the entire March to do the surgery and he needs 1 month to recuperate. Which month will it come up to? Can you help me? March will come up to April ending. Is that right?
Right.
But the OSP gave him up to 2nd June. So when you look at it from March to 2nd June, how many days are we looking at and how many months are we looking at?
A month and
now,
over.
Not a month and over. It's nearly 3 months.
Right. From
now,
March, yes.
Yes. Now, within that period, when you did not do the operation, a person under investigation and who has been specifically asked to appear before a law enforcement, what will you do? You are going to write to them and say, my situation has changed. Now my surgery will be in June. So can we arrange so that I appear before you in April or I appear before you in May? Right. You don't do that. You wait till the last minute of you appearing before us, and then you just send us a letter through your lawyers. And in that letter, you even acknowledge that the OSP has indulged you. The first line of the letter says that we want to thank you for your indulgence of us and our client. And then you just go ahead to say that you are scheduled for an operation on the 13th of June and that you'll not be able to appear before our office. And you go on to say that if we so wish, you will send us your bios. Remember, if we so wish. Now, I've heard his lawyers, you have to give us a little time to clarify. We have heard his lawyers say that they filed his medical records in court on the 27th of May. You know that we were in court with Ofori-Atta and his lawyers on the 28th of May.
Right.
And if you had filed medical records, in this case, not even a medical, I call it like a lab test and other things, and you would have brought it to the attention of the OSP on the 28th. You did not. Rather, in the evening of the 28th, you sent a test letter to the OSP saying that if we like, then you send us his bios. And we are trying to say that everything of Mr. Ofori-Atta, from what I've narrated to you, clearly shows a conduct of someone who is unprepared or unwilling to appear before the OSP. The last one that you can ask me, I've heard people, especially people related to him or among his circles and his lawyers, say that, but if you have evidence, why don't you try him in absentia?
Right.
I want to ask this question. Why didn't Mr. Wuntumi tell Iyoko that if they have evidence, they should try him in absentia? Today, do you know the number of people who have been arrested by police? Why are they not telling police that I will not appear before you if you have evidence? Try me in absentia. Because you cannot try persons in absentia just like that. There are conditions under which these things will happen. And then the last one, they have requested for a Zoom
session, yes, a virtual session.
So that we Now they said that he's available for us to take his caution statement. You ask any lawyer or a law student whether you can take a caution statement of a suspect if you don't arrest the suspect. Can we arrest a suspect on Zoom meeting? Can we charge a suspect on a Zoom meeting? How do we take your caution statement when we have not arrested you? It is not for nothing that we have Interpol and all the other agencies to help. The whole reason of such scheme is to be able to bring people who are unwilling to appear before law enforcement agencies so that they can be charged. So if we check ICC, all the leaders who arrest warrant and Interpol red notice have been placed on them. It's not that they don't have it, but it's because a person has to be brought to be arrested, then that person will be charged before he's tried. Now, in the course of the trial, you have a legal right to elect to say that you don't want to appear for trial, so they should try in absentia. And that's exactly what Article 19.3 of our Constitution says, that there are two conditions you can try somebody even in absentia. One is that if the person is very disruptive, that it will be unwise to place him before court. And the second one is that when the accused person, having been charged and his rights read to him and everything and appeared before you, decides to abscond or not come.
Very well. So, I mean,
so you see that all the arguments they are making are merely afterthoughts. They are things that they are just now bringing to be, hoping that they could confuse people and all that. And we are saying that the OSP has been very fair and appropriate in what we have done. And so all we are asking for is that if you are sick, we sympathize with you. But you cannot say that you are sick in total. You can be sick and still appear before a law enforcement agency. When there's time for you to go and do whatever you have to, you go and do. And when you've had opportunity for almost 3 months, you decide not to appear before us.
Very well, Sammy. Thank you so much. I was just throwing this quick one. I assume that the responsibility of proof of incapacitation will now lie with Mr. Ofori-Atta. But has the OSP taken any steps to verify same?
It is not the duty of a law enforcement agency to verify. I've heard people make such argument, and frankly, I don't know why people want a different treatment under the same law. When you don't turn up for work, I'm just using that as an example.
Very well.
You need to bring a medical report to say that maybe the doctors gave you 2 days, this day off, this day off.
Indeed.
And that medical report will be addressed to your boss.
Yes.
Right. Then that is when, if your boss has doubt, then they go and do their cross-check. But this whole idea of shifting everything to us, why don't you go on? I want you to ask lawyers for Ofori-Atta 3 basic questions. Ask them that between 21st March and 2nd June, has Mr. Ofori-Atta been at admission in a hospital every day from 22nd March? Has Mr. Ofori-Atta been moving wherever he is? Or he has been at the hospital every day from 21st March to 2nd June?
Right.
If a person is incapacitated, it means that the person can appear before a law enforcement agency. And this tangential argument, hoping that they could sway public sentiment, and this whole argument, let's close down the OSP. Why do you want to close down the OSP?
Very well, Sammy. Thank you so much. We'll have to leave it here, but grateful for your time. Samuel Apiadako is the Director of Strategy, Research and Communication at the Office of the Special Prosecutor.